ವಸ್ತಾವಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಹೋತಾವಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಆಸೆಯಂದು ಕಂಟ చేసిన కర్మము చెడని పదార్థము చేరును మీ వెంట పంచభూతముల తోలుబొమ్మతో ప్రపంచమాయనట అంతము వరకు కించెదాశతో పెంచెను జగమంతా వస్తావట్టిదే పోతావట్టిదే ఆశయందు కంట చేసిన కర్మము చెడని పదార్థము చేరును మీ వెంట చేరును మీ వెంట. నమస్కారం. All of you must decide whether you're going to speak or I'm going to speak. Hello, make up your mind. Are you going to be talking or me going to be talking? Please make up your mind on this. If you keep quiet, I will speak. Hello? Hello, all of you out there. You're in United States, I'm sure you understand English. Are you going to be speaking or me? Please make up your mind. Both will not be speaking here. Can they hear me or not? Please, wherever you are, quieten the people around you. There is no point everybody speaking at the same time. That's a marketplace. I enjoy my silence, I can just stand here. Please, all of you, whoever is talking around you, if you don't silence them, I will be silent for you. But there's no point everybody speaking at once because whatever I have to say will not make any sense. I will spend my 45 minutes just like this and leave. That's all that'll happen. If you don't quieten the people around you, that is all that'll happen. I'm not trying to be tough on you, it is just that this is not a political speech to simply say something and go. What is this? Once we have become human, it looks like our problems have multiplied, because if you had come here like any other creature, stomach full, life will be settled. Once you come as a human being, stomach empty, only one problem, stomach full, 100 problems. What is the human problem? As you know, as per the evolutionary theory, we are the peak of life on this planet. Why the highest life on this planet has so many issues and they don't make issues for themselves, they have created problems for every other creature and also threatening the very planet. Why is such a thing happening? It is very simple, because we have been given a very complex mechanism called human mechanism, which is tremendously intelligent and super competent compared to every other creature. This competence and intelligence is useful and will work in positive ways only if we function consciously. But if we think that we can function compulsively, unconsciously and still use this will turn against us. I'm telling those people who are compulsively speaking this will turn against you because this is the nature of a human being. If we do anything instinctively, compulsively, it will come back to us. Only if we do things consciously, our life will move forward from one peak to another peak. So, why is it that we have not been able to function consciously? There are many reasons. One thing is, we are making up stories. We think stories which we call as philosophies or ideologies or belief systems are going to be a solution. Well, to put you to sleep, we can tell you a story. When you're a child, we can tell you a story to entertain you. But once you have become an adult, it is extremely important. You are conscious and you are willing to look at life just the way it is. Can I tell you a joke or a story? I'm asking you a question. I don't hear 18,000 voices. Yeah. This happened in a small town in United States or southern states of United States. There were two boys, little boys, very energetic. When little boys are very energetic, they are constantly in trouble. So they were getting in and out of all kinds of troubles. But the parents were very embarrassed that the whole neighborhood is discussing their children. But you know how to produce children, but you don't know how to fix them. Nobody knows. So they didn't know what to do. One day they decided they will take them to the local parish priest. Because together they're very strong, they decided to take the younger boy first. They took him and made him sit in the priest's office and they left. The priest arrived with long brown-colored robes and a very grave face. He walked up and down and up and down. The boy sat there doing the ping-pong act. Because these things need a certain amount of drama, otherwise it won't work. So the priest is trying to create a gravity to the situation. Then the priest stopped in mid-stride and said, "Where is God?" The little boy got bewildered. He looked all around, he must be somewhere in the priest's office. Then the priest saw he's not getting it. He wants to tell him, God is within you. So, giving him a clue, he said, "Where is God?" The boy looked even more bewildered and looked under the table. Then the priest saw the boy is not getting it, so he leaned across the table, touching the boy's chest. "Where is God?" He's giving him a complete clue as to where he is. The boy got even more confused, got up and bolted out of the room, ran to the place where his elder brother was and said, "We are in big trouble." The older boy said, "Why, what's the problem?" He said, "It looks like they've lost their God and they think we did it." So this is the whole problem. We are busy inventing so many things, not understanding everything that is human. Human experience is coming from within you. Pain and pleasure happens within you. Joy and misery happens within you. Agony and ecstasy happens within you. If you do not take charge of this, then you will be an accidental being. When you live by accident, fear, anxiety, terror, these are all natural things. Once you exist here accidentally, to be anxious, to be fearful, to be confused is a natural process of life. The problem is just this. Do you agree with me that on this planet, the most sophisticated technology on the planet is human mechanism? Have you read the user's manual? If you try to operate a complex technology without reading the user's manual, you can only do it accidentally and never optimally. So, this is the entire human problem and it's multiplying into various dimensions. Today, as a generation of people, almost everywhere in the world, except a few unfortunate parts of geography where still people don't have the basics, almost everywhere, all of us as a generation know comforts and conveniences that the previous generations could not even imagine. Do you agree with me? You are the most comfortable, materially most comfortable generation ever in the history of humanity, is that so? But are you the most joyful? Are you the most loving? Are you the most blissed out? No. This is not happening. Human experience is not getting better, though tremendous things have happened, unimaginable things, things that we could not even imagine 25 years ago are a reality in our lives. But human experience is not getting better, it is in many ways getting worse in the sense, today, well, recently, the Surgeon General of United States announces that every second American is feeling lonely. That is, if two of you sitting here, one of you is feeling lonely, just imagine what is the condition of the other. The CDC statistics are saying that 1 in 3 teenage girls are depressed, 1/3 of the adolescent girls are depressed. We must understand we are unfolding a disaster upon ourselves. It's not far away where every family will have one mentally disturbed person. We are going in that direction very rapidly. This is all happening because essentially our own thought, our own emotion, our intelligence is not working for us. I'll ask you a simple question. Whether you say yes or no or silence, I'm going to bless you, it's up to you. Do you want your intelligence to be sharp or blunt? Only one girl is saying sharp, all others blunt. I'm going to bless. Sharp or blunt? That's better. So once you have something sharp in your hand, then you must be very conscious how to move this hand. Suppose we give you a sharp knife, but you are little la kind, la, intestines will come out. Why we do not give a sharp knife to a child's hand is not because knife is dangerous. It never happened that some knife jumped and stabbed somebody. Did it ever happen? It is the hand which handles it, which does either saves life, takes life or makes life, everything is in the hand. So once you hold something sharp, it's extremely important that you are a conscious human being. So this is the human problem, that you have been given an intelligence which is way above other creatures, and we are still struggling to find out how to handle it. If your intelligence was working for you, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? Only this one girl. Blissful or miserable? Then why such a simple thing is not happening? Simply because your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own intelligence, your own chemistry, not taking instructions from you. This is the first thing you should do before you do anything else, that you're in charge of this. This is not happening in reaction to what happens around you. This is happening consciously the way you want it. Right now we are busy trying to make the world the way we want it, trying to make everybody else the way we want them. The most important thing is, this one person should be the way you want this person to be. If you are not the way you want yourself to be, how do you hope that somebody else will be the way you want them to be? So it is something that will never happen. It doesn't matter who you are. Please look at this and tell me, your parents, your spouse, your children, your friends, your business partners, has anybody happened 100% the way you want them? It doesn't matter, because nobody will happen 100% your way. But this one person must happen 100% your way. If this person happen 100% your way, I'm very confident that you will keep this person absolutely blissful. Blissfulness is not the goal of life. It is the fundamental ambience that is needed for you to unfold the human possibilities. If you want to unfold human possibilities, the experience of life, we know you can whistle, I also can, please relax. So, if you want to unfold the potential of what it means to be a human being, it's important that your body, your mind, your emotions, your chemistry are in a pleasant state of experience. Only then you can unfold the possibility of what it means to be a human being. Otherwise, just somehow survival and doing little better than your neighbor, this is not success. Success is only when you reach your full potential, not when you do better than somebody else. Doing better than somebody else is not the kind of success you must look for. This life should find full expression. Everything that this can do must happen in this lifetime. Only then it is a success. For this, the most important thing is, you must get clarity of vision. You must be able to see things just the way you are, just the way it is, not the way you think it is, not the way your society programs you to look at it, not the way your parents or tradition or culture programs you. Seeing life just the way it is, this life and every other life, will allow you to navigate. If you want to walk through this hall, only if you see clearly you can walk through this hall without any effort. If you cannot see, you need silly levels of confidence, and of course you will walk over everybody. So this clarity of vision, to bring this, there are tools and technologies how to bring absolute clarity into ourselves so we see life just the way it is. Only thing is, there is one problem. Should I tell you this problem or no? The problem is this. It once happened, a cobra, an Indian cobra, immigrated to United States, you know. And one day it went to a doctor and said because of old age, it was having problems, vision problems. So the cobra went to the doctor and the doctor examined and said, "Don't you worry, just for your kind, I have a spectacles. If you wear these spectacles, you will see everything clearly. So he prescribed spectacles and the cobra went home. After 2 weeks, the cobra came back completely depressed. The doctor asked, why, what happened? The spectacles did not work. The cobra said, yes, it worked. Now I can see everything very clearly, and I realized for the last 2 years I have been living with a garden hose. So this may happen, that you see everything very clearly. Because you see everything very clearly, you know the ins and outs of life, so you have to come to terms with many things. But not seeing things the way they are is not a solution, it's a deception. Seeing everything the way it is, accepting it the way it is, and moving forward with whatever we wish to do is the way forward for humanity. Essentially, we need more conscious human beings. Today, mental health is becoming the great challenge for the modern world. It is expected in the next 15 to 25 years that this will be like a pandemic. A pandemic means, here, all of you are sitting here, among you if there were 500 people who have some ailment, before you leave this hall, all of you will have it. That is the pandemic. But this is going to be the way for mental health, it is going to be on a pandemic level. So these are not empty threats because there are many issues attached to it. I will not go into the science of it, but look at the statistics. It clearly shows the world and humanity is heading in this direction. So what can we do is, the simplest thing we can do is, every one of us, there are many ways to do it. We can offer 1,000 different ways of doing it. Everybody investing at least 15 minutes of your day for your inner well-being. If you do this much, the chances of you ever losing your mental balance doesn't arise. And mental balance means don't think it happens to somebody. See, all of us, when we are young, we are healthy physically. We thought we are healthy, and suddenly many people are sick in so many different ways. Nobody imagined they will be sick when they were young. The same goes for mental health. Like physical health, how most unexpectedly you can fall into that pit, the same happens with mental health. Don't think mental health means it is for those people who are crazy. No, you may be perfectly fine today, tomorrow morning, it is possible you could be in that pit yourself. So, this is not something, mental health or physical health is not something that you can take it for granted and imagine that always I will be healthy. There is no such thing that any of us will be always healthy. One wrong step, we will step into ill health. So to become conscious how the system functions, how we can correct this, how we can keep it on track, there is a whole science and technology. As there is a science and technology to create external well-being, there is a whole science and technology as to how to create inner well-being. This is the USP of the civilization from which you come from. What you referred to as Bharat. I said Bharat. I said Bharat. What you refer to as Bharat or Hindustan or India, this is the USP. We always, for thousands of years, insisted inner well-being first, then external exploration. If we don't take care of this, we will have everything and we will have nothing. As you see in the societies around you, people have everything, but people are struggling and suffering like never before. So this possibility should not enter your life, should not enter the life of your children, means first and foremost thing is, because wherever I go, people are always saying, Sadhguru, especially in America, all the Indian people always ask this question, Sadhguru, what should we do with our children? Don't do anything with them, do something with yourself. It's very important. This is not about fixing your children. How can I have the most wonderful children? Don't think about that. You must think, how can my children have the most wonderful parents? This is what you must think about. If you focus on this, how my children should have the best possible parent, if you focus on this, your children will be well. You are thinking how your children should be wonderful. Don't think about that. How I should be, because if you want your children to be wonderful, at least you must set an example at home. You must show them how to be wonderful. You must be so wonderful that in their eyes you become a superstar. If you are a superstar, they want to be like you. The day your children look at you and think, I want to be like my father or my mother, then all your problems with children are over. After that, everything is fine. Right now, their inspiration is somebody on the street, their inspiration is on the Facebook, their inspiration is on the Instagram or worse, TikTok. You are not the inspiration. You must change that. You can't fix anybody, but if you fix this one, you can become the means for others to climb out of their issues and problems. But this is the first generation where we don't have to struggle with our survival. When I say survival, food and shelter is available almost to everybody. Very few are left out of this. When there is a generation like this, human well-being must happen. Human well-being does not mean what we wear, what we drive, where we live. Human well-being means when you sit here, how wonderful are you? How joyful are you? How blissful are you? How overwhelmed with love are you in your life? This is well-being. If this doesn't happen, doesn't matter. Head to toe you can wear diamonds, but still be miserable. You can live in a palace and still be miserable. Recently, somebody, I don't want to put names on it, someone who lives in a palace, just about 27, 28 days ago, in a palace somebody committed suicide. Everybody outside the palace would definitely imagine they must be having the most glorious life. But no, they're killing themselves because this is what it is. Human experience comes from within you. If you don't take charge of this, there is no question of well-being. You can have all the luxuries and arrangements, but there is no question of well-being. That won't happen. But such a simple thing, why is it not happening? Because people are teaching you morals, ethics, nonsense that has not worked in their own life. Everybody is busy always importing things which have not worked in their own life. Let me put it in this context. Now, we will do a simple experiment. Are you ready? You must close your eyes just for 10 seconds and you should not think about a monkey. No monkey, no monkey, no monkey. Hello? Are you successful? Yes. Full of monkeys, come on. This is because the nature of your mind is such, if you say, I don't want something, only that will happen. To this mind, somebody said, this is good, this is bad, don't think about bad things, well, now that's a full-time job. Because what you try to avoid will rule your mind. Because in this mind, there is only addition and multiplication, there is no subtraction and division. You cannot take away a single thought from your mind. If you attempt to touch anything, it will only add up. If you try hard, it will multiply. So, the fundamentals of how human mechanism is made, the fundamentals of what is the nature of human mind, without understanding this, we are making a miracle. This mind is a miracle, but we are converting it into a misery manufacturing machine. You can call it stress, you can call it tension, you can call it anxiety, you can call it depression, you can find more and more names for this. But essentially, what is happening here is that your intelligence has turned against you, that's all. Once your intelligence has turned against you, there is simply nothing that can save you from that, because Once your intelligence is working against you, there is no possibility of setting anything right with our lives. So taking charge of this, that your mind, your body, your emotion, your energies must work for you, not against you. This means health, this means peace, this means joy, this means well-being. And above all, this creates an ambience for you to explore the human genius. Otherwise, most of the genius in the world is stymied by simply our own emotions, our own thoughts. You don't need any enemy. Your own thought and emotion is torturing you substantially for most people. This is because we have not taken charge of it. Some people stay distracted by keeping themselves busy. That is not really a solution. The important thing is, these hands are useful only if they take instructions from you. Similarly, this mind is useful only if it takes instructions from you. If it does its own thing, then it will generate enormous misery. This possibility can be explored by every human being. Every human being is capable of this. The question is only inclination. The question only what is your priorities with life? Is your priority about looking little better than the person next to you or making this into a wonderful piece of life? If you change these priorities, these things can be harnessed. Every human being is capable of this. This is the first time in the history of humanity that we have technologies. We have technologies that we can stand here and talk to the entire world. We can communicate what we want to every human being on the planet. This was never possible. Many great beings have come. When they spoke, hardly 10 people heard. But this is the first time. At a time like this, if we do not transform the way human beings live on this planet, it shows we don't have enough love in our hearts, that's all it means. So this is the time, this is our time on the planet. We must understand, we have a limited amount of time. Our life is a limited amount of time, but this is our time on the planet. What we want must happen. In this generation, what we want must happen. It is not something that needs to happen sometime later. What we want must happen now in our time, because this is our time on the planet and we are not here for too long. Even if I bless you with a long life, even if you have 100 years, it is still too little to explore the human possibility. So this brief life, will we make it a wonderful piece of life or will we find 1,000 reasons as to why I am miserable? This is the choice we have. This happened in 1924. In 1924, there was a bishop in Istanbul. If you know, there is a community called Greek Orthodox community. They have their own pope in Istanbul. It used to be Constantinople before that. Being in Istanbul, where exotic stories of mysticism, yoga, and all kinds of things wafting across the Bosphorus from India and also China, this bishop always wanted to go to India, but he could never make it because he's a man of cloth, he doesn't decide where he has to go and not go. When he was over 60 years of age, he got an opportunity to go to South India, which is where most of you come from. Hello? He went to South India because he wants to meet a genuine mystic or a yogi. He found a guide who guided him and said, there is a hill and in this hill, if you go this way, some landmarks and stuff, there in a cave there is a yogi, that is the right man for you. Our bishop went up with great difficulty. Then in front of a cave, a yogi was sitting completely blissed out. Our bishop went and he had heard, if you see an Indian yogi, you must prostrate, wherever I go. People try to molest my feet because of this tradition. And he prostrated and with great difficulty he was getting up. Hearing all this commotion, the yogi opened his eyes and smiled. Immediately the bishop asked, "Can I ask you a question?" The yogi said, "By all means, you can ask a question. India is the land of questions, you know this." Then the bishop asked, "What is life?" See, this question, what is life, you must ask when you're 8 years of age. You have the intelligence to do it. Let us say in your playfulness you missed it. At least when you're 16 you must ask. But now you're over 60, but it doesn't matter, at least you're asking. So, when he said, "What is life?" the yogi went into raptures. Life. Life is like the fragrance of jasmine upon gentle spring breeze. The bishop said, "What? Life is like a fragrance of jasmine upon gentle spring breeze? My teacher told me, life is like a thorn. Once it gets into you, if you sit down it hurts, if you stand up it hurts, if you lie down it hurts. If you do something it hurts, if you do nothing it hurts. You're saying life is like the fragrance of jasmine upon gentle spring breeze?" Then the yogi laughed and said, "Well, that's his life. That's all there is. What kind of life you're having right now within yourself, whether you're blissful or miserable, you're tense or you're relaxed, you're ecstatic or you're in agony, it's just your choice. What you have around you may not be your choice. What's happening within you is absolutely your choice. If you do not exercise this choice, human life gets wasted. It's my wish and my blessing. Every one of you should experience this life as a blissful process. What you achieve in the world is subject to various realities. Sometimes they fall together, sometimes they don't fall together. But what happens within you is 100% your business, and this one business you must conduct properly if you want to find substantial expression in the world also. It's important that you are in a wonderful state. It is my wish and my blessing, every one of you should become truly wonderful human beings, because this is the I want you to understand, this is the greatest contribution you can make to everybody around you, that you are a truly wonderful being is what your husband, your wife, your children, your parents are expecting you to be. And this is what the world wants. The best thing you can do to this world is, you are a wonderful being. And this is completely in your hands. How successful you are in the world may be subject to various realities. How wonderful you are is absolutely your making. Let's make it happen.